Oi, you know what time it is? You're tuned in listening to Dry That Aussie Metal Guy. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his content when it drops. And remember, stay brutal, you mad dogs. Roof.
Okay. G'day. Hey, how you all going? It's Dry That Aussie Metal Guy here with Crank.com and with Cranium Radio. So today, tonight, this morning, wherever you are in the world, it's a great pleasure that I'm having a chat with Nathan and James from Hell There's Other People, Blackened Metal from Canada. Cheers for joining us, guys.
Thanks for having us.
How's it going?
I'm good, man. And this is fucking very good to get the chat with you guys. First off, man, I did kind of allude that you're a black and metal band, but for the uninitiated, how would you guys describe your sound to someone who hasn't heard you before?
Want to take this?
I guess I mean oh god. It's like post black, I guess, maybe, or black gaze. We kind of bounce around a little bit. We're still kind of trying to figure out what to call ourselves with in terms of that, but it's like, a bit of post sprinkled in there, and like, a lot of shoegaze stuff thrown into. So you decide, I guess.
We're definitely coming from like, there's like a big like post-hardcore scene and hardcore scene in general, like where Nate and I come from. So like that sort of just bleeds into like any band from our area. So like we have like the roots in that, and like that's sort of what we grew up listening to. But then like we sort of had like just more delved into like the Blackened and like that sort of thing, sort of as the bands evolved.
Yeah, well, whereabouts you guys based from? You're out of Canada, yeah? Whereabouts in Canada are you based?
The two of us are from Windsor.
Yep.
And then the other half of our band, they live in London. So they're about 2 hours drive away.
We're right across the river from Detroit, so we get, all kind of influenced from their music scene as well. So it having Detroit that close is it's a blessing and a curse, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. Tell us about speaking of influences, tell us about some of your influences that you both have.
James.
So I mean, like, I'm definitely coming from more of like a Russian circles, Amun Ra, and then like Touche Amore and like Deaf Heaven kind of angles. And then like, I don't know, I guess I never fully dove into like the true like super heavy stuff. That's like not where I'm coming from. All the other guys in the band are like way more into the heavy, and I'm like I'm sort of the black sheep on that, the white sheep, I guess.
That's good to have those different influences, though. It doesn't necessarily always be heavy. You know what I mean? It's funny chatting to different people of different generations to see who some of their influences are compared to, someone like of my generation and the generation ahead of me as well.
Right.
Nathan, how about you, mate? Who are some of the people that have kind of influenced and inspired you?
For me, I mean, Woods of Ypres were like a local band for me. Like they were playing at the community center, like 4 blocks away. So some of my first experiences in live underground music was, Woods of Ypres' first album. So getting to see that and not really having anyone around me playing the same music as that, or listening to it, I guess. They were the only band I knew that was kind of like that. So I mean, this was like 2003, I guess, at the time. So with that being said, there was a ton of post-hardcore bands. So like Woods of Ypres started it, and then bands like Buried Inside, or like later on Finding Agalock, or I mean Deaf Heaven, of course. They did a lot of cool stuff. But one of the bigger bands that like really like put me over the moon, I guess, would be Altar of Plagues. Like when I discovered like Mammal, I just sat there like, what the fuck, like why did I not find this sooner, But yeah, just like a lot of bands like that, like Oathbreaker, like Rhea was amazing. Like any like post stuff kind of like that really does it. Like with Ditty, like Amin Ra was incredible. Um, that kind of stuff really did it for me. But yeah, I'm kind of all over the
Basically
place with my music too.
anything that's like really emotional, but then like also still hits you with a sledgehammer is sort of like, I guess, like what the end goal for us both is. So that's sort of where we both sort of connect. But
Well, that's
like,
kind of describing your latest in cast, of hell is other
oh
people.
well, thank you. Yeah, no,
You
that's
know what
like,
I mean?
yeah, definitely like,
Exactly what you just said there is the perfect descriptor for the band I think you need to have going forward. Have
oh,
that,
thank
that
you.
emotion, then hit you with a sledgehammer as well.
Yeah, no, definitely, because like it to me, I'm always like, I need to hear like the ups and the downs. Like if it's like, a 20-minute EP of like slam, like holy shit, I'm probably gonna listen to the first maybe 2.5 minutes and be like, okay, that was cool. But like if you give me like some ebbs and flows and you slam for 13 seconds and then there's a part and then there's like some cool shit, like I can hang out for a lot longer, but I definitely need like some more flow. And like, I don't know, we definitely have the space to do that with what we're doing. So I enjoy that.
Yeah, you definitely do, and you kind of build this emotion and this atmosphere, as you said, and then you kind of do hit you with that, the extreme stuff as well. And I kind of draw comparisons to bands like Celeste and Conjure and stuff like that. It has that really great black metal sound to it as well, and it does build a hell of a lot of atmosphere. But can you tell me how you guys first form? Tell us about the beginnings of the band, because I kind of read and see that it was a little bit different than kind of what you started with, the sound and
Yeah,
style.
we've probably had about 15 like former members.
No.
So yeah, Nate and I started jamming. I get Facebook memories from like 10 years ago of like us sitting behind the laptop doing our first demos, and it's like, holy fuck, like feels like we've done nothing at all, but like uh yeah, so we started, it was I was actually playing bass. We had another guy playing drums, uh and I was like, we were all sort of between bands. And like I just knew a couple of dudes that knew a couple of guys, and like I ended up meeting Nathan through like one of these weird jams where it was just like, let's see what we can like throw together in a room for 3 hours, and then we come out with 3 or 4 songs like skeleton together. We're like, hey, maybe this is gonna be kind of cool. And we play a couple of shows and we're like, this is kind of neat. And then some members come and go, and then some styles change. But yeah, we definitely were like trying to be more like, I guess, like Alexis on Fire angled. Um, Initially anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. It was my band had just kind of dissolved. Like we'd, done our, released an album. Our bass player joined the army, was moving away, and then it just didn't feel like the same band. Once he was gone, like he was like, there was only four of us, but one pillar's gone. I'm like, I don't want to do this without him. So that kind of like fell apart and just stopped. And then I record bands, so like a bunch of like band members, like bands that I'd recorded, they had one band broke up. I'm like, hey, there's a drummer here and there's a guitar player from this other band that I recorded. And so I got them in, and then Ditty was friends with the guitar player. And then, from there we yeah, like guitar player was in another a pretty successful band, so he didn't really have time to jam with us. So we're like, all right, do your thing. And then we kind of wanted to get faster. Like we're like, this Alexa on Fire thing is kind of cool, but we want to get like
That sort of
darker
was a
and
big
faster.
turning point. We like talked to this one guy who was in another like successful band. We're like, listen, like do that. Like you're on tour for like 2 months out of the year. Like stop, like quit. You've got too much on your plate. And then when we did that, the other half of the guys of the band were like way better friends with him than with us, I guess. So they kind of were like, I don't know if we want to be doing this anymore. And then we were like, I guess here's our chance to like refocus and like figure out what like you and I want to do. And then from there, we've kind of just like never looked back.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good way to be. The latest album, dude, looks absolutely unreal. The tracks I've heard off it, I had heard Craig. That was on a previous release as well. I think you've dropped, which is a killer track. But you've just dropped the Fates track, which is the debut single, like kind of the first new single off of this album as well. Tell us about that one, dude. That's an absolute killer track, and it has, as I was saying, the building of the atmosphere as it kind of leads into it as well.
That song, I think we had the skeleton for it right before COVID hit.
Yep.
And then of course COVID, so we kind of just everything stopped. And we had kind of like a bunch of the skeletons of the songs just kind of there, and then it was just like a big stall. And then after like 3 months we kind of got back together and started like putting it all together. Like we'd be sending each other like little riffs, like from crappy little recordings from our phones. Like you just hear like an unplugged electric guitar like strumming along, like, yeah, I think that sounds okay. But it's that Fates was the first one. It was kind of like a slow burn. It had a couple different iterations throughout, but what we ended up with at the end, it's like very simple, but with everything we like kind of like layered into it, I think it ended up being like a really like really cool song, like very like full of atmosphere and full of like emotion. So
Well, like I feel
I'm
like
pretty
just sort of in general, like it starts with like Nate will come up with the guitar part, like one or two riffs that he's like certain that I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, that's cool, and then we'll sort of begin workshopping jamming. So it was sort of like when COVID hit, there was a big wrench thrown in the gears because we're definitely like we wait until we're in the room together to like figure out like where the meat is and then like get the good bits, and then if we need to have some clean atmosphere bits, like we've already got like what the melody's supposed to be, we can pick and choose out of that. But like having the two of us in the room together like jamming for that period like is really crucial. So yeah, having like a bunch of like kind of figured out demo skeletons of songs and then being like, cool, we got something, 2020 is going to be the year of hell, and then like nope.
Yeah, well, so what was that like? You know what I mean? You're just starting to prime up. You
It was
get
rough.
ready. You got
So-
this sound going, and then it's hard for a band as it is in general. Then COVID fucking just goes.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well,
like,
Nate and I
dude.
live like 5 minutes away from one another, so it's just like I can drive by and wave, and you can stand on your porch, but like that's about it. Like,
I'm
Yeah,
sure the
like
neighbors
right.
would appreciate some jam session. Get out the amps, the
Oh,
drums,
man.
the guitar, slamming out some fucking black
The little
metal.
driveway jams. Um,
social
yeah.
distance. I'll be in the control room.
It really killed us because we had like a bunch of shows lined up in April and stuff,
Yep.
and then listening to the news, I'm like,
Oh, we had
oh
just bought
man, like
merch too. Like we were all
yeah,
geared up. We were literally like
yeah,
so pumped, and then whoa.
yeah. I remember we had like a Valentine's Day show, like whatever weekend was closest, and I was kind of sitting there. I'm like, guys, get it all out now because I don't know when we can do this again.
Yep.
So everyone that was in the band at the time, we just put everything we had into that show, and then surprise, we had to wait at what was it, at least a year.
That was a long
Yeah.
time. Probably till
Did we play?
maybe December of 2020 before we got to play again.
Yeah, yeah. So, and
So
then even
what?
then, it was like,
It's hard. What was the scene like coming out of that? Because I know in Australia we're still struggling to come back
So
from
many
that. We've had
venues.
18% less live venues since COVID. Like
Yeah, no.
oh yeah,
18% of venues had shut up
So many
and not
venues have been just
reopened because of
decimated.
COVID. Yeah, exactly. And I think kind of
yeah,
because of the heavy alternative scene, it was like nothing to see here. Shut the venues up and move along. And it's getting harder and
yeah,
harder for people to kind of have these venues because support is a big thing. And I know you guys are probably struggling with it as well, like putting on gigs and having that support, everybody getting along to these shows, buying tickets, coming along and supporting the local scene, like having a strong, thriving local scene is so important to each scene in the world. Like, it's great that we've got all these bands slamming each country at the moment. We've got every second band coming, but
Right.
you've also got to support the local scene and the underground
Absolutely.
scene coming up, because if we do not have a strong, thriving local scene, then these bands aren't going to come. We don't have the numbers. We don't have the crowds to do it.
Yeah.
So why fucking bother coming?
No, it's so true. And like, there used to be probably like 3 or 4 real legit good underground venues that like could all have a good show and have like 50, 60 people in them on like a standard weekend in Windsor. And like, I mean, basically all of those venues have closed. We play basically 2 bars in the city, and maybe another 2 bars in London.
Yeah.
Like on like regularly as like hometown, but like it is rough. It's good to have like consistent people, which there is. There's a great scene for both Windsor and London's locals, but yeah, just the amount of venues that got hit so heavy, because yeah, like you can't have people in, and your whole thing is having 150 people in your room for 4 hours. Like, what do you do?
Exactly. And then coming out of that, you have venues that take merch fucking cuts now, which kind of, I don't
Yeah.
understand it, which absolutely
Oh.
do my that like does my head in, because I'm a bartender. I've worked hospitality for many,
Right.
many fucking years. I know how much money a bar makes when we put a gig on. I know the bar I used to work at in Australia, they'd pay the band, they'd give them a voucher, they'd get meals, they'd get so many fucking drinks. You know what I mean? You don't take anything out of their fucking merch. And I think it's the way to go, because bands are struggling as it is, let alone you come into a venue and then they're
sure.
like, oh, I'm going to take this much out of your shirt sales. It's like, well, fuck, I'm going to take 20% out of your bar tab, because you've got 150 people in here that are all buying fucking alcohol that wouldn't be in here otherwise. So that's another thing that upsets me, besides all the streaming stuff that's happening at the moment as well.
Yeah. It's like, congratulations, bar. We just hired that alcoholic outside as our new bass player. So have at it. You know, we're gonna, you know, you're gonna take money. Well, so we're gonna take money back. But I think at least in our cities, like London and Windsor, we don't do the merch. They don't cut out of our merch
Yeah,
stuff.
we've been fortunate enough to never have seen a merch cut show. I don't think there's any bars like local that would do it.
Yeah, I love that too, because there's a couple of places here in Adelaide that are the same. They're all about committed to supporting the scene, and they don't take a merch cut, because they realize that the scene is kind of, at the moment, it's a broken fucking system. You know what I mean? You've got this great album, like you guys are about to drop this Moirae album, which I will talk a little bit about the signing with Transcending Obscurity Records, who you've signed to drop this through. But you're about to drop an album, and that's a record label that has some great bands on it. You're going to drop this album, and you're going to have the committed people that are going to go buy it. Then a bulk majority of people are going to fucking stream it and go, I'm supporting the band. But for me, that's not supporting. It's like this one little tip of an iceberg of support. You know, when you love a band and you really enjoy them, you go over, you buy the album, you buy merch, you support the band that way. It's like a home team to me. And I think sometimes the community forgets that.
A little bit, yeah. And like, I mean, my like stupid monkey brain, I love looking at the YouTube number and seeing like, oh wow, the numbers went up overnight. Cool. Like, wow, there's another comment. Oh wow, cool. Like, it's real. But like, it certainly is nice whenever we get like a email from Bandcamp, like $1, someone bought your thing. Like, someone decided like my thing's worth spending $1 on. Like, wow, that's fucking cool. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. And then to be able to have those physicals, like you said, merch at shows and stuff. Okay, you guys have signed to Transcending Obscurity Records, which I fucking love that label. They put out some...
It's almost surreal.
They're a great fucking label. I don't believe they're hyped up
honestly,
enough.
It was such a like we're like shooting off emails to labels, like, to, you know, we're just like shoot shot, like, why not, right? And like we're just like, surely no one will fucking answer us, and then like Transcending Obscurities in our inbox, like yeah, we'd love to work together, cool. It was such a cool process. Like it was so surreal, because it like, I thought we were like throwing money away just to like get get our shit together, you know? And like it just like immediately was
It
like
worked.
it worked. Like, oh, someone wants to work with us. Oh,
We're worth it. We're not just a crappy local band. Like someone thinks we're like good.
someone
You,
thinks we
So
were taking a shot on. It's so
you're well
such a
and
cool
truly
feeling,
good, and
like,
you're definitely suited to that label. I've gone over there and bought tons of albums through Bandcamp through there. It's one of the labels I do kind of hit at times,
and like
and for
it feels
me,
kind of funny because like
you go.
no, they're so eclectic. There's like we were
Yep.
like I listened to the sampler and it's just like the fuck am I listening to? Like every band is so different, like it's so crazy. And then like yeah, just to be included on that too was so wild. Um but yeah,
yeah.
like just the whole thing's been really, really cool.
Yeah, for me,
Mhm.
labels like that are like going into record stores because unfortunately there aren't very many around anymore. But I love going onto pages like Transcending Obscurity Records and just grabbing albums from bands I'd never heard from. Because a label like that, I've always know I'm going to get onto something
Yeah,
good. It's always,
yeah.
I've never
Whether
been
and like
let
whether it's
down at
what you're
all.
shopping for, you're still gonna be like, oh, they're good at least. Like
Exactly. It comes down to cover art as well. I do kind of at times buy stuff on the cover art, you know, like, especially with albums and that. So tell us about your cover art, man, because this is fucking dope as hell. Is that hand painted?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
We our bass player vocalist, other Nathan, young Nathan, he kind of dives in. Like he has like a room in his basement of just CDs. Like he obsesses over it, and it's his
yeah, he's
hobby.
the
It's
big
it's
CD
his thing.
collector.
Yeah, so he knows artwork. Like he like opens every booklet, and we were like kind of looking around. He's like, I really like this artist, and then he like he sent us the link, and we all kind of just perused the Nightjar illustrations website for probably like an entire day, and we found like three that we like absolutely loved, and we kind of voted, and this one was the one. It matched everything that we were kind of already like
Yeah,
the
it
concept we already
conveniently
had.
already
So
fit the themes of like what the songs were about. Like it felt right, and it was also just such a cool piece of work. Like
yeah.
Yeah, it's an unreal piece of work, and that's the thing you get with the physicals and the vinyls and,
yeah,
and
man.
stuff as well. You get this amazing artwork. For me, it was always like the Google of my generation. I'm telling my age of 44, but
Mm.
like I'd get my CD or my vinyl or my tape cassette, and I'd see all the little linear notes and the artwork, and it was absolutely unreal. I'm leaning more towards the vinyl now because I can see it a lot better with my
Mhm.
my eyes. So you're talking about some of the themes there, guys. James, tell us a little bit about some of the themes and kind of that influenced both you guys in the songwriting process for this.
Yeah. So like, of course, young Nathan could make it to talk about the lyrics. I actually like I read them a couple of times, but like I can't remember what they are. But like musically, at least, um, I mean, generally, the song melodies have been completed by the time the lyrics ever get put down. So
Yes.
they're connected, but they're not necessarily like tied together in the same way. So the
Like
music
two
is like,
stories that intertwine.
mhm,
Like we had our journey with like the music, and then Nathan wanted to, he had a couple ideas, and then when it came to like I like the lyrics, we kind of were just like, we kind of want like an overarching theme across the whole thing, rather than just a single, like one song this and one song that. And so when we kind of came up with this idea, it just felt perfect to us. So like like
yeah,
the
I guess
Fates
like
and like
sort of
Apropos.
in general, I guess like the overarching like to tie into the album artwork, the idea was like the Greek mythology, like the three fates, the sisters that like weave your life together, like uh uh you know, draw it out, cut the length, like tie the threads, all the things. So the idea was like, you know, like it like
Is choice
is it all
real?
pre-planned? Can we do anything about it? So that's sort of like the like I guess the headspace behind like hear Nathan write about that. Um But yeah, the music was like, I don't know. Here's some sad riffs. What do we do with these sad riffs? Can I make it more sad, or do we make it angry? Do we do we slow it down? Like, what do we do with this?
And then you chuck in, Nathan's vocals over the top. He has quite this range going on where it was.
Yeah, he
has an amazing
does
range.
Vocals, in his other band, Sentiment Dissolve, and like they're more of like a tech band, and he really shows off his vocals in that band where he's just like, not to call it like Arcspire, like, but like he's trying to do like the shotgun like sort of vocals, and like he can do it. Like we're like, keep it appropriate for this band, but like him and Nick actually both, our guitar player, they both play in Sentiment, and they're both like punching below their weight category playing with us. Like they're both so talented.
I don't think so. I know with artists, I'm sure he'd feel the same, that playing stuff with his other band, there'd be things and lyrics and, patterns in his head that he'd be like, man, I can't use for that band, but dude, for Hellas Other People, this is perfect. You know what I mean? It does inspire you
having outlets.
Different outlets as well. You know what I mean? It inspires you for the other. I've spoken to so many musicians that have had a few bands on the go. Some people got 3, 4, 5, 6 bands that I've chatted to, dude. Like, what I mean? And they love it, dude.
I like just really only having the one band, but I've got so many ideas that are like really dumb and stupid that don't like fit like the serious vibe that we're trying to pull. So I'm like, hey guys, wouldn't it be funny if your band did this? And they're like, it would be funny if we did that. Let's do that. Like, I think I've given them like 3 or 4 t-shirt ideas, and they're like, we're gonna roll with that. Like,
nice. So when are we looking at full release on this, guys? I couldn't find anything at the moment. Have you guys?
The pre-order is supposed to go up in a week or two. I believe it's the week of, what is it right now? It's the 7th. I think it's the week of the 15th. It should be sometime next week, is what we're being told.
Yeah, I know, because it's just kind of been announced with the Transcending Obscurity thing, hasn't it? Kind of, that's just been announced, and that's all over the bloody place. And then the single. It's the funny thing with social media; you got to fucking plan everything out these days. Like, you got to drop a single, then you got to kind of get some fucking film clip behind, and you got to get some eyes and some ears onto it. Then you got to drop another single. Then you got to fucking.
It was funny, like the last kind of cycle that we did. With like the self-released album that we did, Embrace, it was like, oh well, you got to release a single, and then like in a month or two you got to release a second one. It's like, that's half of our album. We can't do that. Like, we can't do that. These songs are 14 minutes long, dude. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I know, and I've always been a sucker for that, dude. I always go for the longer epic tracks as well. And you were talking about how this latest album from you guys, and a lot of the work you've done has this theme and an overarching theme on each of the releases, and I feel like your band really lends to being able to do that, and a lot of bands do, and it's really good to see that you do work on releasing whole albums or whole EPs that do have a theme. So yeah, you can grab the single off of it and listen to it, but to get the most out of it, grab the whole album and play it from start to finish, because there's so much fucking joy. And listening to whole albums, which I do believe some people kind of forget what a joy it is to kind of dive into it.
Also, definitely like a full, like, if I'm listening to like one song, I feel like I'm wasting everybody's time. Like I'm in for like the whole like sit down experience.
Yeah, especially when bands like do put that emphasis and thought on structure and layout of tracks as well. And I to get some, especially like albums like this or Doom albums, and there's so many fucking albums that you do listen to, and you always find these deeper cuts. You guys would do it too. You'd be listening to one album and it's like, fuck man, I like this track this week. Then next week you're like, oh, I'm loving that one. What track are you loving this week off of the latest album, guys?
We've been grinding, like gearing up for a show, like the upcoming shows. So I've been listening to Loss a whole bunch. Loss has probably got my ear the most.
I think Atropos is kind of, I really like that one. That's kind of like it's my favorite. It has been my favorite. So I've been listening to that one more, I guess. And I mean, I recorded everything, so I listened to all of it so goddamn much. Like so many times, so many revisions. But
it's almost torture.
Oh, yeah.
Just imagine if you're
yeah.
the singer, it'd be like, fuck, I can't stand the singer's voice. I hate the sound of my own voice. Do you find that sometimes, like having to go back and listen to shit, you get overly critical on yourself as well?
Yeah.
We've actually got the luxury of Nate recorded it, so like other Nathan could be like, "Can you send me this without the vocals to practice to?" And then like never listen to his own vocals ever again if he wanted.
Yep, guilty as charged. You guys do have some shows coming up, I believe. Yeah, I'll try and find a.
Yeah, we're in the East Coast, not East Coast,
Well,
I
not
guess,
coast.
Ontario up to Quebec,
Yeah, there's some art.
East Canada.
There you go.
Yeah.
Local, regional for us.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Anyone watching though can over in Canada. I know I've got a few watchers over there, dude. I've interviewed quite a few bands out of Canada. You got a great scene going over there, dude. It's absolutely unreal.
Every city, there's like one or two like seriously legit good bands. It's so cool. Like it's often like we get put on bills with bands that we don't necessarily fit with, but like we're like, well, I'm glad we saw this, man. Like this is fucking cool. Like,
well, isn't that for me? That's fun, and to go to a gig where you got a thrash metal band, you got a
little bit of variety,
band, a death metal band. You know,
Yeah.
I've always had a great time going to shows like that. You know what I mean? It is good to go to shows and have like 3 death metal bands in a row or whatever, but it is good to
it's
go to
always
these
a little
shows.
awkward. We play for like 3 deathcore bands, and then like we go up, and then like everyone's going side to side waiting for the pit to start, and it's like, sorry guys,
Dude,
like,
it's clean right now. Stop. Like it's
Uh,
literally the cleanest guitar you've ever heard. Why are you like swinging at that teenager?
yeah,
Like,
calm
stop.
everybody. I need everyone to calm down. Reel it in.
I know we need to reel that in. That's for bloody sure. Look,
Yeah.
guys, this has been an absolute pleasure. Everybody go check out Hella's Other People. They do have a heap of stuff over there on Bandcamp, which you can buy and support. Stream it. Yeah, whatever. Go buy it. You feel a lot better when you're buying it. Head over to Bandcamp, support it. Or YouTube as well. Get those numbers up.
Yeah.
And people, don't forget to hit the fucking like and subscribe for Hella's Other People. There's like a few
Leave a nice
thousand
comment or an angry
Yeah,
one.
leave a nice comment.
Get
Say
that
good day,
engagement up.
James. He's going to read them. Cheers, guys. Do you have any last words, shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you'd like to add in?
We hope to see you
shout out
guys
Futhark
on
Records.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, Futhark, and if you're in Toronto, go check it out. And we hope to see you guys on the road this summer. So thank you.
Awesome. Cheers, guys. Everybody go out, grab some Hella's Other People, chuck it into the stereos, crank it up really bloody loud. The neighbors are going to want to hear it too. Cheers, guys.
Take care.
Take care.
Oi, you're tuned in to Jai That Aussie Metal Guy, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his sick content. And remember, stay brutal, you legend.